My name is Brandon Nyhart, and I am from the second graduating class of Hope for Prisoners, which was in 2011. I feel honored to stand here before you today to share my testimony. I moved here to Las Vegas in 1984 when I was 17 months old. I'd love to say that my childhood was all sunshine and rainbows, but it really wasn't. It was more like hell with nonstop abuse in all forms, verbal, physical, mental, and sexual from a very young age. My mom was a single parent and she worked nonstop. She owned a bar and restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip, managed a band, and became a manager for the catering department at the Tropicana throughout the 80s. So I had a live-in nanny. She even moved to Oregon with us in 1990 when my mom quit her job and wanted a fresh start. Even though I was too young to understand back then to know what was going on, looking back, this is where our lives started to change. Fleeing from a very abusive relationship, we moved again in 1992 to California, and then the same year back to Las Vegas. By 1994, when I was 11 years old, my mom went to prison for the first time, and all of a sudden I was homeless. With not many options, I called my old neighbor and asked if I could stay with them, so I didn't have to go to Child Haven. Although she said no, her ex-husband said that he would take me in. Thankfully, I was okay. 1 year later, my mom came home. We were finally together again, except things were different, and we were never stable. I went to 4 different junior high schools that year, and before I was 13, I had overdosed on crack cocaine. I started using methamphetamine at the age of 15 with my mom. Being a full-blown addict at such a young age really made it difficult for me to get to where I am today. As I got older, I started realizing I was becoming someone I no longer liked and I wanted to change. But I was stuck mentally as a product of my environment. So instead of changing, I continued to do what I knew, and that was to abuse drugs. Or shall I say, let the drugs abuse me. 3 days after I turned 18, I got arrested for possession of a controlled substance and caught my first 2 felonies. Again, even though I wanted to quit, it was too late in my mind. That was all I was around to consume my life. Continuing to abuse drugs, I got arrested a couple more times, got sentenced to drug court, got 17 days away from graduation, and dropped a dirty UA, so I went on the run. 1 year later, I got arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle, and since I was still in drug court, I convinced the judge to send me to boot camp, and if completed, allowed me to finish drug court after boot camp instead of terminating me. So the judge gave me another chance. This time, I completed both programs flawlessly. About 8 months after completing the program, I was arrested once again, but this time for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, hanging with the wrong so-called friends. Luckily, I was given probation. Not wanting to live that life anymore, I really tried to get my life together. I had my firstborn son, and life was good. For the first time, my mom and I were sober together, and we all had a big house. Everything seemed right. Then 5 weeks after my son was born, I found out my mom was using, and I also relapsed. My mom was my trigger. On December 16, 2006, which was 10 months after my relapse, I was arrested on 23 felony counts of grand larceny auto and ex-felon possession of firearms. I was mad at my life's choices, and I wanted to change. I told myself if I ever get out of this, I will change. 2 weeks later, I was transferred to federal custody and served papers that spelled out LIFE. I was fighting the RICO Act for organized crime. Now I really thought my life was over. By the grace of God, I was sentenced to 59 to 192 months in the state and 34 months federally that ran concurrently. While I was incarcerated, I seized the opportunity to better myself, on top of the self-promise to never use again. So I went to every program I could: substance abuse classes, anger management classes, NA, AA, and commitment to change 1, 2, and 3. I also went back to school, got 15 high school credits in 5 months, passed my proficiencies, and got my high school diploma, all while taking 3 college courses, which they allowed me to because I already had my GED. If I wasn't in school, I was working. I stayed busy there. After 3.5 years at High Desert and 10 months in fire camp, I found myself at Casa Grande with 11 months to go. So I signed up for the HOPE program. Not knowing what to expect, the program blew me away, and even more so, John Ponder blew me away. The change I saw in him and the light that surrounded him was contagious. I had hope. Through the HOPE program and the mentorship of Mr. Ponder, I was shown that change was possible. I was shown that as long as you never give up and have hope for a better future, you can change your life with consistency. If you look around today, we are surrounded by supporters, and that's what I needed. It's what we all need. Positive influences and mentors that truly care about our success. Everybody needs a mentor. We are not designed to do life by itself. We are an average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most, so I encourage you all to stay connected. We are an average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most, so I encourage you all to stay the course and stay connected. Mr. Ponder is the real deal, you guys. He really is.
Yeah.
He has surrounded himself with other leaders who genuinely care about our success, that are honestly there if you need them, to help you, to guide you, to encourage you, and equip you with the tools that we all need to become successful, productive citizens of our community. I encourage all of you graduates to stay connected to the people in this room. They are our friends. We can't hang around the same people, go to the same places, and do the same things as we used to and expect different results. Even if you have to disassociate yourself from the ones that you love the most, I promise you it's worth it. Whatever it takes, just stay strong and believe in yourself, because you are worth it. I live a life today that I never dreamed of. Today I'm happily married to the most amazing, supportive wife. We have 5 amazing kids. I'm in 2 unions. And I help my wife teach financial education. This upcoming December, I will be 17 years sober from all illegal drugs. And 8 years sober from alcohol in August.
Yeah.
To all of you graduates today, I just wanted to say that it's possible. Change is possible, not just for John, not just for me, but for all of us. You just have to want it and you have to work for it. The first step is done. You're here. Now use the tools you've been given and stay connected to the people who care. Consistency is key. The Bible says in Philippians 4:13 that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So stay strong. Thank you all for your time. And again, thank you, John, from the bottom of my heart. I'm forever grateful to you and the Hope for Prisoners program.
Yeah.